Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Claressa Shields. Now, I think most people know this Saturday night, Savannah Marshall and Hannah Rankin will be squaring off for the vacant WBO middleweight title. And the reason that title is vacant is due to this lady, the GWOAT, who has kindly given up the WBO belt to allow these two ladies to fight for it. And I guess the first question really is, why did you make that decision? Why are you helping them out, if you like?
Um, well, I have my next fight at 154, and the goal is to become undisputed in two different weight classes, and I've already been one disputed up at 160. So it was either fight at 160 and not go for the second undisputed, or give up the WBO belt. So we decided it'd be more history and more legacy to go for the 154 undisputed, and because we already conquered 160.
Did the fact that Hannah Rankin was one of the fighters in line to compete for the belt make it an easier decision because you guys are promotional stablemates, good friends?
Oh yeah, of course. But I think it was more of Eddie Hearn trying to give Savannah Marshall a chance at a belt without having to fight me. That was what it was really about. It wasn't really about, um, yeah, of course, Hannah Rankin could have fought for the WBC. She can do a rematch with Patricia Burgold. She didn't. I didn't have to give up my WBO belt, but Eddie was so steadfast on like, oh, have her make a decision. She's holding all the belts, whatever. And he just doesn't want Savannah Marshall to fight me because he know what I'll do to her.
Do you find it strange that before lockdown, Savannah Marshall was gearing up for her first world title shot up at 175, something you were critical of last time we spoke, and now the
Yeah.
world title shot's coming two weight classes down?
hmm Um, I don't think Savannah Marshall is really like that big of a girl anyway. But I think once again, Eddie Hearn just wanted her to have a world title and to get the UK back and fans behind her with her being a women world titleist and everything. But she got to do some work on her fan base. So I think she's seen that fighting at 175 for a belt wasn't really a big deal in women's boxing, as there's only three girls in that weight class, or
Although
two.
from a personal level, I'm sure you'd love Hannah Rankin to get the job done. Is there an aspect where if Savannah Marshall wins, it's a big future opponent, big future fight for you?
Oh, she needs to understand that if she do win, I will be her next opponent. The belt is my belt. Don't ever take that for granted. After I fight at 154, I will be going back up to 160, and I will be getting back my WBO belt. So either she's going to fight me and I'll get it, or she's going to vacate it and I'll get it. But either or, it's my belt. And I think Hannah Rankin has a really good shot at being Savannah Marshall, though. That's something I don't want to um, make the interview about me, even though my dislike for Savannah Marshall. But Hannah Rankin is my good friend, and she's a great sparring partner. She's a great friend. Took very good care of me when I was in the UK, and just a very great person. So, despite everything, I want Hannah Rankin to win, and if Hannah Rankin wins, I wouldn't fight her again. I feel like me and her fought already. We're really good friends. Now, if the money is right, of course you can make a fight and
Sure.
everything, but I just feel like me and her, we got other people we could fight. But I definitely would want my WBO belt back if it was to get in the hands of Marshall, just because she needs to know who's the head boxer in charge, and that's me at 160.
Given you did clearly outscore Hannah Rankin, but then later on you guys have sparred also, you're in a great position to tell us about the improvements that Hannah's made. So tell us a little bit about that.
Just the improvements is experience. You know what I mean? Like actually being there fighting me and sparring me is two different people. Out there in the fight, I go out there and give it 100%, but in sparring, I give it 150.
Wow.
I'm a way better boxer in the gym than I am in boxing. Even though people may be like, "Wow, that's crazy," but I'm harder to hit in sparring. I'm faster in sparring. My body isn't beat down from training camp. I just kind of flew over there to the UK. I rested for about 2 days. We got in the ring. I hadn't trained in about a few weeks, and my body was fresh. So I think I perform better with that. And I think I was able to give her that part of me to where she was like, whoa, this is way better than when we fought. Like, yeah, I know I beat you by unanimous decision, but in sparring, it gets it's actually hotter in the kitchen. So she was able to handle that, able to adjust. I think Hannah Rankin has gotten faster. She's a very strong girl, period. Like, she was strong when we fought. She's strong when we spar. And like I said, we can't forget that she's a blue-collar boxer at first. She wasn't just a boxer who started off boxing at the age of 11 years old like myself. She started boxing when she was grown. So her getting there with world champions, her sparring against me, her learning more, me giving her a few tips and chips here, I think it's really going to work good for her. And just to speak on Savannah Marshall, I don't think she's had not one tough fight since she's been a professional. They have matched her very poorly over there at Matchroom Boxing. I don't know if it's on purpose, but the people she's fought against records are embarrassing. And the fact she should look at it as an honor that she's able to get in the ring with somebody as accomplished as Hannah Rankin, because she's fought for, I believe, 3 world titles. And even though she's come up short, she has fought against some very tough opponents, and myself, Alicia Napoleon, Patricia Burgalt. She's had some really tough fights, and that's going to play in her career as well. Early in her career, and that's going to play in favor for her when she goes against Savannah Marshall.
And you mentioned how strong Hannah is. Do you think that will compensate a little for Savannah being the naturally bigger lady?
I don't think that Savannah Marshall is naturally bigger than Hannah Rankin.
Okay. It's interesting.
I don't think that. I think that she fought at the bigger weight classes to get easier opponents, because she fought at 152 on the amateurs, and me and her boxed at 165 in the amateurs, and she was barely making 165 then. So I don't think she's really a bigger girl. I think she just wanted to fight at the easier weight class to hurry up and get a belt.
From a tactical perspective, what do you think Hannah Rankin needs to do to win this fight with Savannah Marshall on Saturday?
I think she needs to use her jab, rough her up a little bit, head movement, and hit her hard to the body. Because Savannah Marshall, she didn't really have a lot of pop when I fought her 8 years ago, but I'm quite sure after her being at the bigger weight classes, she's probably got some strength on her. So just move her head and break her down to the body a little bit. I think Hannah Rankin is quite capable of doing that.
And kind of, I know you're not completely unbiased in this because you have a friend going into the fight, but if we can ask you to be as subjective as possible, how do you see the fight going?
I see it being like a very close fight. And I say that because Hannah Rankin is going to rough Savannah Marshall up. She's not going to be able to just lay back on her jab or have an opponent flying in 3 days before the fight. Hannah Rankin has had a full camp. She's been in camp getting ready, because we're stablemates. So me and her stay in contact. I know when she's training. I know when she's not. And she's been training this whole quarantine. So she's been ready for a fight and waiting for that big opportunity. And I think she's going to do it for both of us, honestly. I think she's going to do it for both of us. I think it's going to be a close fight, though. I feel like Savannah Marshall needs this win to be something big in her country. And I think Hannah Rankin definitely needs this win to show that she's just not a world champion competitor, but she can be a world champion. So it means a lot to both of them. I just think that Hannah Rankin will have the last bit, like that last edge. I think it's going to come down to the last 3 or 4 rounds on who the winner is going to be. But it will go 10 rounds for sure. It'll go 10.
And will you be watching live on DAZN out in the US Saturday afternoon?
Saturday is Sweetest Day. I don't know if you guys celebrate that, but that's where like the woman has to treat her man or her boyfriend and do things for him. So me and my guy are actually flying out to where it's hot at, going to be on a beach and stuff. But I have DAZN on my phone. So if I don't forget, if I put a reminder on, I will watch it. But if I don't watch it live, I will watch it after. Because I always take Hannah Rankin after the fight, or I call her and me and her talk about how well she did or what I thought she could fix. But I definitely would want to talk to her when she gets the win. So
You have to convince your guy that a great female title fight is a treat for him.
he's already convinced, especially, with it being the only girl to ever beat me in my entire career 8 years ago. So I think he'll be super excited for that. But we just got to make sure we find time.
And you mentioned that your next fight will be down at 154, pursuing that slice of history, becoming the first person to ever win in the four-belt era 2 undisputed world titles, different weight classes. When will we see you back out? When is the next step in that journey?
I'm hoping to make an announcement this week, but when you have to do the paperwork and, COVID, everything's kind of been shaken up a bit. So I'm letting my team do their job. They're doing a great job. And I hope to make an announcement soon. But I think I should be in the ring before the end of the year. If not the end of the year, beginning of the year. But I definitely feel like it's going to be before January.
You achieve these milestones so quickly as well. I mean, if you get the undisputed at 2 different weight classes, that's a huge achievement for for either gender. And you're still going to be really young, potentially, once it's achieved. So what's the next stage after that? Are you already thinking about that?
I like to think ahead, but COVID really has slowed my thinking process down a little bit. It's kind of like taking one step at a time. But I would love to go to 168 and rematch Franchon Cruz. I would love to fight against the belt holders at 168 and possibly become undisputed in 3 different weight classes.
Wow.
The way that I see it, because I can fight at 168. I have belts there. I already was undisputed at 160. Now I'm at 154. But my weight can fluctuate, and I'm pretty young. So I'm thinking maybe that's my next step after, or probably looking to doing some MMA.
Wow.
Because I have a lot of time to learn it, and I'm a super athlete. I can learn anything, and I've already been kind of getting my training in order for next year. I just want to have a few more boxing matches before I pursue MMA completely.
Awesome. And I guess a question a lot of people watching this will want to know as well. We've had a string of female fights in the UK over the last few months, female boxing really coming to the fore during this era. When are we going to see you in the UK competing?
I was hoping to get the fight with Savannah Marshall, but Hannah Rankin got luckier than me quicker, so she gets to do that. But that's one of my dreams, though, to come over there to the UK to fight in the O2 Arena. I don't know how it's going to happen, but that's something that I want to happen. I feel like I have a lot of UK fans and followers because I won the Olympics in 2012 there. But who knows? I know I'm definitely ready for any competition. I think it's hard. It's not hard matching me. It's harder for me to get girls to agree to fight me. They always have all these stipulations. They want all kind of crazy money and, stuff like that. But I just want to say, shout out to all the girls who've been fighting after the quarantine. Cecilia Brockes, the new undisputed champion, Jessica McCaskill, Terry Harper, Natasha Jonas, a few more girls who've been fighting. Michaela Mayer fights for her first world title shot October 31st against Ewa Brodnicka.
Yep.
And I just feel like, to all the women, I just want to tell you guys are doing great. You guys look great coming out of quarantine. I feel like I want to, into Katie Taylor, into Delphine Pursoon, of course. Cool. Their second fight was just as exciting as the first fight. So I just want to give a shout out to all those girls who've been competing and keeping women's boxing alive. And my only goal right now is to outperform all of them when I fight.
I knew there was going to be something at the end. I was just waiting.
That's just the competitive spirit in me. It's like not a dislike for them, but it's like, all right, all these girls came out. They've all had like tough split decisions, a majority. I want to go out in my next outing and get the big knockout, so I can be like, yeah, quarantine year, I was the woman who got the knockout in 2020. So.
Great stuff. Well, we can't wait to see you back in action. Really appreciate the analysis. It adds a lot to the fight, and we're all looking forward to that on Saturday as well. Enjoy your time away on Saturday.
Yeah, it's only for 2 days, and I'm back in the gym, so not really much time.
Well, enjoy it anyway. I'm sure your man will enjoy it. That's the important.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Oh, lost you for a second then. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, it's time to be
soon.
All right. Thank you guys for beeping in. Bye.
Thank you.